What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only, Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, that's a better intro than last night, buddy.
Yeah, we're getting back to it.
We're getting back in the swing of things. What's happening today, man?
Oh, lots of games like usual. I know that's recurring, but that's just how it is in our line.
Absolutely. Dude, coming up on today's episode, where you should be joining us live right now over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube. But if you can't hit us up live, join us later inside thegame.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, on today's show, PlayStation Plus could receive a premium subscription model. We could also see a new state of play next week. And there are a lot more than technical issues going over on Blue Box Game Studio with their abandoned real-time experience. Man, oh man, we've got more to talk about yet, buddy.
I knew we had to mention that, that's for sure. But this PlayStation Premium model has me wondering.
Yeah, all right. So let's get into what could be happening. And this really, the PlayStation Plus could be getting another premium service of the PlayStation Plus model. What's going on right now? Because Sony has acquired the new anime Crunchyroll for a whopping $1.2 billion. This is what's going on. This is reported by Eurogamer, who claims to have heard that there are plans to potentially offer Crunchyroll as part of a more expensive premium PlayStation Plus offering. So it just kind of looks like it's coming in at another tier, Scott, for PlayStation Plus members. If you want to get into the Crunchyroll service, right now they're two separate services, so it gives you the ability to tie that in, which I don't think is such a bad idea, to be honest. I think it's a good idea if you're into the anime side of things and you're looking to incorporate it into one place instead of getting hit with two different bills, right? We'll see that come up where other networks make you charge couple different things like that, and it just makes it a little bit smoother, and one bill payment I think it'd be a little easier, and hopefully come at a cheaper price then too in that case, right?
Yeah, maybe it shuffles what the regular price is, kind of bumps that down perhaps, but
exactly.
$1.2 billion acquisition, they're going to have to try and monetize that in some way, so this makes sense. I've recently seen Xbox pair their Game Pass Ultimate with Crunchyroll as well, and I thought that was interesting. Crunchyroll is just raking in the money at the moment.
Well, it's everywhere now that they bought. So, Scott, now that they're purchased by Sony, will we still keep Crunchyroll on the Xbox platform?
Well, that's what I was surprised to see, because I expected it would have just been pulled right off Xbox immediately, but
yeah,
it hasn't as of yet that I'm aware of.
So far, Sony's playing nice, and hopefully they can keep it that way, because a lot of people love anime, and it's nice to keep that service up and rolling over on for the Xbox side of things as well, right? Crunchyroll, I think, is pretty well everywhere. You can find it wherever you want now at this point. It's just one of those OTT platforms that are around the world, and it's a service that seems to have exploded, and that's what, yeah, when we talked about the purchase yesterday of $1.2 billion, man. Don't look for that to go anywhere. But yeah, they could be rolling it in. And this could drive up their side of PlayStation Plus as well. If you're already a Crunchyroll subscriber, you have a PlayStation to play online, you need the PlayStation Plus. So I'm curious to see if that's going to drive up sales numbers as well. Then we'll never, well, I don't know if they'll ever tell us, though. That's the biggest thing, Scott.
Yeah, they're not always often releasing this kind of thing unless it's to boast that it's been extraordinary sales.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we always hear good things, right? But we don't never actually hear the behind the scenes, some of the negative stuff. But either way, I think it's a good thing, and hopefully, that's what I said, hopefully it comes at a cheaper price. But dude, a new state of play could be coming next week. Pretty excited to see if this actually happens. Games Radar James Jervis has said that there are rumors suggesting that the next state of play event will take place on Thursday, August 19th. According to the rumors, Sony was believed to be announcing the state of play yesterday. However, that didn't happen. Clearly, we didn't see anything at all, Scott. Not a thing. But there are rumors floating around that on August 19th, we'll see another state of play. And this comes kind of on the premise of the fact that Xbox announced that they're going to be going to Gamescom, dude. So you think they would have something there to kind of combat that side of it, right?
Yeah, PlayStation is going to do their own thing and try to mirror. So this is to be expected, but I'm wondering what this one's going to settle around or be centered around rather.
Well, okay, so here's
We've
the
seen ones with Forbidden
yeah,
or Horizon Forbidden West, and
exactly.
what's this one going to feature?
Well,
or
so
is there going to be anything at all?
there's rumors of a kind of a more in-depth look at Kena Bridge of Spirits, which dude, I can't wait for.
Oh, that would be cool.
Absolutely. Yep. Hello Pixar version of a video game, right? So that looks fantastic. Gran Turismo 7 is rumored to be there. Now, take this for a grain of salt because this is all rumors and speculations, and we all know that Sony doesn't comment on anything like that whatsoever. So there's not even a point of me hitting them up and asking. So we're just going off of what we hear right now and what basically James Jarvis has heard as well. But Horizon Forbidden West, Scott, this could be the spot to say, hey, you know what? Unfortunately, we're gonna have to push it back to 2022.
Oh man, yeah, that's something. I believe it was you that saw that, foretold it.
Well,
if it doesn't quite make the holiday season, then maybe February kind of time zone next year. But it's hard to say. There's supposed to be a possible surprise announcement. Do you have any kind of ideas what that could be? Days Gone 2, perhaps?
No, we're not going to get a Days Gone 2. That is, I think, been kiboshed. I don't think we'll ever see that, unfortunately. Not right now, anyways. Maybe a sneak peek at what Sony Santa Monica is working on with God of War. We could see just a little snippet, because we all know it's in development, right? So it's not like we are under the idea that it is coming, but we'll see what happens if it actually shows up. I think that's the biggest thing right now for us, is if it actually is in the... How far along are they in development? So that's kind of something that I'm curious to see. And if they can just show us a little bit of Kratos, what does he look like now? Has he aged at all? You know what I mean? Just kind of give us a little behind the scenes kind of approach of where they're taking the next God of War. And I think that's enough to satisfy all of us, because we know we're getting it, well, not 100% that we're getting it next year, but they have had to push it to 2022, right? So I'm hoping if they come out and say, oh, we're sorry, Horizon Forbidden West has been delayed to 2022, maybe they'll give us a window of when we could see it, and then, oh, by the way, boom, here's the next God of War little trailer, sneak peek kind of thing for you, right? I think that'd be a good way to smooth things over.
Oh yeah, that'd be a strong step for sure. There's a lot of people that are into the God of War for decades now, so it's coming down the line. But I like how they stated several weeks ago, it will be arriving when it's ready.
Well, and so it should, right? Like, we've seen the ramifications of what happens when it's not ready. So I'll wait, dude. We're not short on games to play, so give us something that's actually finished and polished, and that way when I do jump in to play it, everything runs and looks the way it's supposed to, and I'm not having like texture pop-ins or enemies T-pose around the place. Like, man, because I'm still playing games to this day that does that, and I just like, come on, really?
or NPCs that literally explode when you talk to them.
Yeah,
I've seen some glorious glitch compilations. Oh man.
Speaking of explosions, Scott, abandoned PS5 demo delayed by technical issues.
Oh no,
man, here we go. Blue Box says it's continuing to work on enabling the patch that will activate the abandoned real-time experience app. What? Almost a full day after it was meant to launch. In an update on Twitter, the studio said that the fix was taking longer than expected, and the team is fully working on it. No further reasoning was given for the delay. Blue Box Game Studios announced that a demo for it was upcoming for the upcoming project Abandoned was delayed due to technical issues. The real-time experience demo. Scott, okay, give me a second here because I got to pull myself together because I'm a little puzzled as to like this whole flipping situation here with this studio and what they're doing. I don't know who in this day and age launches an app to launch a trailer. Like, it's got to have some kind of interactive experience within it, right? They call it the real-time experience. Are we able to get in this thing and look around? It's not a playable demo, so we're not getting a demo of the game. We're getting essentially a trailer. So if you're going to do that, first of all, you're partnered with PlayStation to do this. So, which also strikes me odd, the fact that PlayStation has said absolutely nothing about it, Scott. They have not come out to put out this fire whatsoever. PlayStation is sitting back and letting them just kind of steamroll themselves over.
Yeah. Blue Box has been what a roller coaster in the last month. Rumors flying here and there and everywhere. And with Sony's backing, you know the funding is not missing or lacking. I'm just taking a guess there.
Yep.
So you think this app would have come out with something new and innovative? That's kind of what they leaked or mentioned early. So
exactly.
Everybody's kind of wondering what that means, but so far it's just meant a little bit of disappointment.
It's just led to a ton of confusion, right? Because the marketing side of this has really been on the edge of pushing the fact that they tease that they're working with Kojima, one of the biggest, well-known, popular developers around the world, right? Around the world, Scott. You teased that you're a part of him in some way with this game, okay?
Yeah.
Why would you ever do that if he's not a part of the game? And that's what they've done.
He started posting things on Twitter. He's being way more open about what he's working on as sort of a way of dealing with these rumors without completely addressing them.
Yeah.
Which is strange to me too, because you think everybody would just clarify the situation given the amount of confusion that's going on. And Kojima, so far, it seems to be that he's just working on Death Stranding director's cut kind of trailers and sorts of stuff related to that game. So I don't know what Blue Box has, but they have to follow this up with something really strong.
Well, so now they also teased RE. Dude, they teased Resident Evil the other day as well. And I'm just like, you guys, who is in charge of your marketing over there is just setting you guys up for a ton of failure unless this actually all pans out and Kojima is in this thing somehow, some way, right? Like, it just seems such an awkward thing to be a part of. And just watching this train wreck go by is just unbelievable. You can download the PlayStation app right now on your PS5, but when you boot it up, it just says check back soon. It's just like, well,
that doesn't offer much information either.
Oh man, and this thing was postponed out of June already, and now it's into when it was supposed to release yesterday, and it has nothing at all. I know our friend Northern Nerdcast has been all over it, checking to see when it's going to launch and what's going on. Dude, even David Jaffe took to Twitter to say 100%. This has Kojima's special smell all over it. Point being, this is Kojima. He's involved in some way. Like, even David Jaffe's tweeting that Kojima's got to be in, because it's, dude, this is one of the most awkward reveals of any game, of any title, of anything I have ever seen. It's just, what a bizarre way to reveal your brand new game out of a brand new studio. And it does kind of have this smell and a taste of Kojima, right? Because he is so mysterious in the way he revealed Metal Gear Solid 5. The Phantom Pain, it was just some dude sitting there with a bandaged face up. Well, it turns out it was Metal Gear. Like, man, it was just, what the heck are they doing? And then, yeah, the point that the biggest thing for me, Scott, is that the fact that their partner was PlayStation, and PlayStation's not saying anything.
Yeah, it's strange. Even David Jaffe saying this is Kojima. I wonder if that's just wishful thinking. There's a lot of mystery going on. Let's just hope this comes out with something that makes sense, and Kojima's behind it because he's a mystery. But I'm hoping too at this point.
At this point, I think that's the only thing that's going to save this game, right? Is the fact that if Kojima is involved, they're going to be their saving grace, because the rest of it, they just shot them in the foot the minute they opened their mouth about Kojima. And then now this whole Resident Evil little spiel too that they're tying in over on Twitter. It's like, wow, what a hot fire this thing is going to be. So we'll keep you posted and updated with whatever abandoned becomes. Maybe it's just going to be completely abandoned and no one's going to ever see it. But I guess we'll see. Scott, let's move on to the Xbox Series X getting a new night mode.
Yeah, this is interesting. I enjoy this because every app on my phone has a night mode, so this kind of fits right in there with that.
Yeah, that's fair, right? The urge to game happens at different points throughout the day, and the Xbox Series X is about to make it easier for people who want to play at more unsociable hours. Because as publicly testing a new night mode, the idea is that night mode will make it much more comfortable to play after dark. That means dimmer screens and hardware lights, as well as an optional blue light filter to help reduce eye strain. Dude, that's kind of a neat little touch, I think, that they're experimenting with, right? So right now, in order to get on this, you have to be on the Xbox Insiders program under the alpha. Skip ahead, ring, people can participate in that mode. So that's pretty cool. Would you ever use that? To me, I very seldom game in the dark. Like, I'll have the lights on around me just because I know how hard it is on my eyes. And I've seen a lot of people actually backlight the back of their screens, right? Whether it's a monitor or a TV, and that's supposed to help with the strain around your eyes as well. So there's other ways you can adjust it, but the fact that Xbox is actually going in to make a mode that will help with eye strain, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it is good. It's some recognition of the problems inherent with using their devices.
Yep.
Of course, Xbox doesn't tell you to play at 4 a.m, but a lot of us find ourselves there, and this is a good move because so many times I've hit the middle button and just been blinded by that crisp white square, and
oh man,
it's good to get away from that. And my father and I, we joke about having a Nintendo tan. Just from the bright lights and everything at night, and
sure,
this is a way to reduce that.
Yeah, no, I think it's a nice move forward with Xbox, and we'll see if PlayStation kind of follows suit at all. But that's what I said. I just game with the lights on anyway, so for me, it's not a big deal. I watch movies in the dark, but typically game with lights on. I don't know. I don't do anything scary.
I like horror games. Yeah, I was just gonna say I like the spookies.
Yeah, I do not. So maybe I change my tone, I guess, if I like the spookies, because there's only one way you should be playing those games. But Scott, you put this one in the doc. Why don't you take it?
All right. Yeah, this is an interesting one to me here. A title that I'm not so familiar with. Maybe you could offer some backstory, but the Amiga 500 is returning in the form of a mini console.
Weird.
Well, there's been a lot of mini consoles as of late.
Well, yeah.
And I believe the Atari is entering that forefront. So
sure is.
They have to have competition that matches them, and I suppose that is the Amiga. But it is set to return, and it will feature a number of classics, including Worms, Another World, The Chaos Engine, and more. I recognize Worms.
Yeah. Yeah, there are definitely other titles in here. Pinball Dreams, yeah, Speedball 2, Brutal Deluxe. Man, I don't know. Yeah, I'm there with Worms as well. It's one of the early consoles, right? Like everybody, it was a PC, so everybody jumped on, and this is how kind of like one of the areas video games kind of got started into. And I don't know. We'll see. It's like a nostalgia trip, really, right? That's what it comes down to.
My dad acquired an Atari 2600, I believe.
Yep.
So I actually have quite a bit of experience with that level of gaming, the pioneer days. And so this is interesting to see it kind of bounce back. I wonder who it's aimed at, if it's aimed at for my dad's generation kind of thing, people who are still keeping up with these games. But a lot of these mini consoles have launched in pretty high confidence. So hopefully this works out. Just to broaden the horizon of games, really. I would like Sega to come out with a new Genesis.
Yeah, good luck to that. Do you think we'll see a Nintendo 64 classic?
Oh man, that's the big one,
right?
I think they would come out with that, but at the same time, the secondhand market for N64 is really popular and just a large kind of sub industry of its own.
I was just like, man, we saw NES Classic, we saw the Super NES Classic, and then everybody's waiting on the 64, and no one has seen anything of it. I'm a little surprised because Nintendo was on such a hot streak with it that I thought they would have continued and rolled right in with the Nintendo 64 Classic as well, and it just never happened. So maybe you're right there, Scott, that there is such another market already out there that's filling that void that Nintendo feels like is oversaturated, and maybe that's not the right move for them to get into, right?
Yeah, well, and they have the opportunity to offer these games through the Switch, through the marketplace.
Yeah.
So I think that's where they'll have a better chance of monetizing it, and yeah, a mini console would compete with themselves, I guess.
Sure. Scott, let's take a quick look here. We've got the best ever look at a canceled Duke Nukem game. A trailer for a canceled Duke Nukem game back in 2008 has surfaced online. The animation studio Janimation was hired by Gearbox at the time to create a cinematic for the game before the title was later scrapped by Gearbox. Dude, I took a look at some trailers today and I was like, oh my god, it was something to see some of those things back in the day that you would not see right now, I don't think, at all.
No, Duke Nukem is not made for this decade.
No, it's definitely not, right? It's one of those back in the day. Dude, I started with Duke Nukem on PC and we meet with friends of ours online, and you boot up your 56k modem, and then you get in, and then like, okay, nobody touched the phone, and then that's how we start. Oh, it was definitely a thing of its time, Scott.
I remember that back in the day too. My brother showed me Duke Nukem, and I don't think he was allowed to. But there's a couple moments like that. Mom, get off the phone.
Yeah, exactly. Scott, why don't we get into game announcements, updates, and releases for today?
Alrighty, we have a new update to Chivalry 2. This sounds cool. It is titled House Gallancourt, and it has Gallancourt Courtyard as 2 new maps and arena mode, an arrow cam, and more. That's cool. That sounds like a Sniper Elite kind of thing.
Yeah, very cool. I know Nate and Corey and Adam really enjoy this game, and the new arena mode features a 3 versus 3 combat game. So I think that was kind of cool. First to 5 wins. I thought that was a nice little addition to this overarching huge battle area we normally fight in, right? So the 3 versus 3.
It's normally just chaos and screaming.
Yeah.
Constantly through every game, and it gets a little messy. Everybody clashing, and people with claymores just going right through the crowd. It's a little hard to grow your skills in that scenario. So this is interesting because 3v3, I think it'll break off into a lot of 1v1 kind of matchups.
Yeah,
and that'll give people the chance to really learn the controls. That's the first hurdle, I think, when it comes to this game.
Absolutely. Kind of reminds me of For Honor in a small sense, right?
Yeah, I can see that. I think For Honor and Chivalry are kind of like the Call of Duty Battlefield of that genre. We also have Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We just refer to it as Valhalla nowadays.
Yep.
The next major expansion is releasing, and that is called The Siege of Paris. Now, set in Francia, this new adventure will set Ivor on the dangerous path full of gripping quest lines across the Frankish countryside towards one of the most infamous battles in Viking history. All right, well, it goes into a bit of a sales pitch there, but it sounds cool, and I'm hoping Corey gets a chance to get into that, because he's kind of our guy.
Yeah, he's definitely our Valhalla guy. I was actually talking to him this morning that, yeah, he's going to be working towards getting on that one for sure, getting caught up a little bit. He's been on other games, so he's fallen a bit behind.
Yeah, we're all just plowing through games at this point, so it's hard to get the time. But if we assign him this one, maybe that'll get it done.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. What else do we have out for today?
We have some releases today. I like the title of this one. Glitch Punk is coming to the PC. I'm curious. I have not seen anything about this one, so I'm curious to check this out.
Game was cool.
And we also have Icarus coming to PC, and The Seed of Life coming to PC as well. I think, are checking out Seed of Life on the show. So Stay tuned for that one. That one actually looks pretty cool. But, dude, Glitch Punk reminds me of an old school GTA. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm seeing our clips here. Yeah, it's kind of got a Tron look to it.
Yeah, very cool.
I like that.
I do as well. Scott, that's going to wrap up today's show, buddy. Everybody, thank you for joining us over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube. But if you can't join us live, that means you should hit us up later over at InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see everybody tomorrow inside the game.